All right, so today we're going to dive into something really profound. But this isn't just about ancient stories or mythology. Think of it more like a practical map of existence. It's a blueprint for the entire universe, and as you'll see, it's also a mirror for our own lives. Think about it. Everything, and I mean everything, from a galaxy swirling into existence to a single thought popping into your head, it all begins with a spark. This is the first of three fundamental forces that run the whole show, the force of creation. Okay, so once something is created, right, an energy of order and balance and just sustenance, it takes over. This is the second force, the power that keeps things going, the power of preservation. But here's the thing, nothing stays the same forever. For new things to even have a chance to begin, the old stuff has to fade away. And this is our third essential force, that constant cycle of endings and renewals that we call transformation. So, here's a wild thought. What if this cycle, creation, preservation, transformation, isn't just some random pattern? What if it's the fundamental operating system for the entire cosmos, for our societies, and even for you? All right, so how does this map actually work? Well, in Hindu philosophy, it's described in this really elegant way through what's known as the Trideva, which you can think of as the divine cosmic Trinity. So these three cosmic forces, these huge ideas, they're actually given personalities. They're personified by three distinct but totally unified expressions of one supreme consciousness. So let's meet them. Here we have them, Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the transformer. Now, this is super important. Don't think of them as rival gods in some kind of cosmic competition. Not at all. They're more like three essential jobs handled by one single cosmic intelligence. So let's start with Brahma. He represents that initial spark, right? The force that takes pure, unformed potential and turns it into actual reality. He's the very principle of all beginnings. So where do you see Brahma in your whole life? Well, that little spark of a new idea you get? That's him. That sudden flash of inspiration. The vision you have for a new project. Yep, that's the energy of Brahma. It's our own inner creative impulse, and it's always wanting to bring something new and exciting into the world.
Okay, so you've had the great idea. Now what? Well, it needs to be maintained, right? It needs structure. That's the role of Vishnu. He's the cosmic force of order, harmony, and balance. He's the one who upholds Dharma, which is the moral and cosmic law that keeps the universe from falling into chaos.
And in our own lives, Vishnu is the energy that keeps things steady. Think about your discipline, your daily routines, those core values that keep you on track. That's all Vishnu. And it's said that whenever things get really out of whack in the universe, Vishnu shows up in different forms, as avatars like Rama or Krishna, to get things back in order. And last, but definitely not least, we have Shiva. Now, it is so easy to just label this energy as destruction, but that's really missing the point. It's so much deeper than that. Shiva is the necessary, vital force of transformation, the power that dissolves old forms so that new ones can emerge. See, the key thing to get is that this destruction is actually a good thing. It's all about letting go so you can grow. You know how you have to break old habits or ditch old beliefs to get wiser? That is your inner Shiva energy clearing the way for renewal and liberation. Okay, so that's the basic idea, but different philosophical schools have their own unique take on this trinity. Let's look at a couple of these different lenses. So on one hand, you've got a school like Advaita Vedanta, which is pretty abstract. It says Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are just three faces of one single, formless, ultimate reality called Brahman. Kind of like how one white light can be split into different colors. But then you have the Puranic view, which is full of amazing stories. It treats them as distinct divine personalities, which makes these huge cosmic ideas feel a lot more personal and relatable.
And here's another really cool way to look at it from Samkhya and yoga philosophy. They talk about these three gunas, which are basically the essential qualities of, well, everything. Think of them as the primary colors of reality. You've got Rajas, that's all about activity, passion, creation, a perfect match for Brahma. Then there's Sattva, purity, harmony, clarity. That's totally Vishnu's vibe. And finally, Tamas, dissolution, rest, inertia, which lines up perfectly with Shiva. And these three energies, they're in a constant dance inside everything, including our own thoughts and moods.
Okay, so this is all great cosmic philosophy, but where can you actually see this cycle in your everyday life? Let's bring it down to earth with a few simple but powerful metaphors. Just look at a single day. The morning, right? It's full of new energy, new possibilities. That is pure Brahma. Then the middle of the day, you're in the zone, you're active, sustaining your work. That's Vishnu. And then night comes. It's a time for rest, for dissolving the day, getting ready for a new dawn, and that is Shiva. See? Every single day is a perfect little version of this cosmic dance. Or how about learning something new? Think about it. First, an idea is born. It pops into your head. Bam, that's Brahma. Then you've got to practice, right? You put in the work, the discipline to make that skill stick. That's your Vishnu energy. But here's the really important part. To truly master it, you have to unlearn your old, inefficient ways of doing it. And that powerful act of letting go, that's Shiva. So let's bring this all home. What does this cosmic blueprint mean for you, right here, right now? Well, it turns out this entire framework is also a map of your own inner potential. You know that old saying, every ending is a new beginning? Well, this ancient wisdom is built on that very idea. That energy of transformation of Shiva, it's not something we should ever be afraid of. It's literally the promise of a fresh start. So what's the bottom line here? First, your creativity, your inner Brahma, is a sacred act. Second, your ability to create stability, your inner Vishnu, is absolutely essential for any kind of growth. And third, your capacity to let go, your inner Shiva, is the key to real liberation. Life isn't a straight line, it's a cycle. And true harmony comes from balancing all three of these powerful energies within yourself. Ultimately, when we really understand and embrace these forces inside us, our power to create, to preserve, and to transform, we're doing more than just some self-improvement exercise. We are literally aligning ourselves with the fundamental rhythm of the entire universe. So, as you go about the rest of your day, think about these three great cosmic forces: creation, preservation, transformation. Which one is calling for your attention right now? Which energy will you choose to consciously embrace today?